Hello everybody and welcome back to CNF Fun Rips. This is Frank.
And Caleb.
And today this is going to be part 2 of our training for those who are wanting to learn how to play the Pokemon game. As I mentioned before, a lot of people like to collect. I spoke with a lot of parents and kids that want to learn, but they get a little intimidated when they go to the card shop, the local card store, and it can be a little intimidating. We've been there, so we understand. So we just thought we'd just put this kind of series step together on how to play a Target Bot EX Battle Deck Level 1. So it's not going to get too complicated. And just as a summary from our last video, do you remember what these are called? Energy cards. And these are basic Pokemon cards. And these are 2 types of trainer cards. What's the first type, son?
The first type is an item, and the second type is a supporter.
Yeah, so just that's all. And then again, these are the damage counters. And you'll put these on your cards, and we'll show that in just a moment. And then here's your coin. So we're going to go ahead and get set up here. So just like any card game that you play in the world, whether it's Go Fish or Rummy or what's the other ones we play? Uno. You got to mix them up. So they're a little stiff. So I don't know. My son's going to do something funny.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do that at all.
You usually do it like that.
And we're not putting sleeves on these. We will put sleeves on, but one way to do it is you just do 6 piles of 10, because I forgot to mention that each Pokemon deck has how many cards in it?
60.
60, and we counted the cards, so they came with 60. And so if you want to do it quick without doing shuffling, this is the way a lot of the Pokemon people do it. They'll just just to get the cards, kind of shuffled without doing it the old-fashioned way. You just quickly do 6 piles of 10. And I think that I counted maybe like 18 energy cards. So you get a variety, right? Depending on how you build your deck. Some people will have a lot of Pokemon cards. Some people will have like 10, 20, 30, I mean not 30, maybe 16 or less energy cards, depending on the deck they're playing. I think this one came with, what, 16 or 18?
18.
I forget what
mine came with 18.
Yeah, I think mine came with 18. So we went ahead, and now we're just going to randomly, put them on top of each other. Kind of get them mixed, kind of get them all mixed up. Right, you could do however you want. You could buy sleeves, which I don't have an example right now, but I'll show you in the next episode without knocking over the table. So right now we kind of mixed them up. And so go ahead, son, and I want my son to pull out.
Set up. Right? Basically, you come like this, and it shows like everything. Like, it shows everything you can do and everything you're supposed to have.
Yeah, so my son is going to... Wow, that's going to be right in the center. So.
Well, I can just show it right now.
Yes, well, you know what?
Put it back here.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll let him slide it back and forth. So why don't you go ahead and build your deck. So how many cards are you to give yourself in the beginning, son?
7.
All right, so let's count. Each of us count 7. So that's what after you mix it up, everybody gets 7. Just like you're playing Go Fish or Uno, right? You get 7 cards. So
and what about cut and tap?
Okay, so yes. So after you shuffle them, good point. Good point.
Ask your opponent.
You can ask your opponent if they want to cut or tap. So I'm going to show an example of cutting. If Caleb says, if he says, you want to cut or tap, I'm going to cut.
So you cut it like in half.
Just like
you
that.
You can cut it any way you want. And then if I said this, I'm like, I'll tap. You just leave the deck the way it is.
You literally tap it, and then that means he doesn't want to cut it. A lot of people cut. A lot of people don't cut. A lot of people tap. I play people that all they do is tap. Right? It's just, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you like. So anyway.
Put your deck like at the top, and then you draw 7 cards. Which the way I like it is just by doing this, like sometimes looking at it and then.
Yeah, but you can't look at your cards obviously until you get those in your hand. So I'm gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're gonna go and show each other's cards this time. Normally we wouldn't do this, but we're training, so we got to show you. So what do you have in your hands, son?
I have 2 Eevee. I have 2 basic Pokemon. So basically, if you do not have any basic Pokemon in like your first turn, like you'll take a mulligan, and then you have to shuffle again, and then take the card.
So always, if you're just starting to play, there's some rules here. What is the first thing you want to do, son? What does it say there?
Draw 7 cards and put a basic Pokemon onto your bench in the active spot.
Yeah, so does Caleb have a basic Pokemon?
Yes, I do. Do
okay,
you?
Yes, I do too. So I'm gonna show you my cards. Normally we wouldn't show each other's cards, but we're gonna. That's that's how you learn. So grab a basic, son. Doesn't matter which one to put in the active spot.
Just grab an Eevee because I've never played this deck.
All right.
And you put it like face down like that. So this is the bench. So you can have up to 5 Pokemon.
So
on your bench.
I'm gonna put it just so you can see his basic Pokemon. And then I'm going to go ahead, and normally I will have a mat on this side, but obviously it's too small. And that's okay for today.
And then you put your Pokemon
so then you
down
put your
like this.
basic Pokemon face down, and they face each other. And what you normally would do before you even look at your cards is you would flip to see who goes first.
So if it's, you can ask if you
heads or tails. So what do you want to call it?
I'll call heads.
So I'm going to flip it.
And
tail.
So
tail.
You get to choose.
I get to choose whether I want to go first or second. Now there's strategy into that, but just for today, we're not going to go into it in too great detail because we're going to try to keep these little sessions 10 minutes or less. So, what if you go first? What does it say here? So I'm going to go first just for the sake of going first. So let's flip our cards over. And by the way, Caleb decided to put as many basic Pokemons as you want. So technically, you could fill your whole bench. This is your bench, by the way, in your active spot. So he decided to put 2 basics down. You can only put basics down. You cannot put any stage 1 cards down yet on your first turn for either of us. So I got a basic metal. He's got a basic what?
Colorless.
And you got a basic what?
I forgot. It's leaf. Sorry.
Grass. It's not. It's grass.
Well, I say leaf sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Grass, like grass type.
So since I'm going first, there's a couple of things that apply only when going first. One, I cannot play
any supporters.
A trainer supporter card. I can play a trainer item card.
Like you can play something like a nest ball, but you cannot.
It has to say item. It cannot.
You can't be like a supporter like Nimona.
On your first turn.
On your first turn.
The person who goes first cannot play a supporter. Turn 1, which is me. No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to camera down. So, but what I can do, and I'm going to put my what is this called again? What deck?
Your deck. Like
my deck.
Basically.
So I'm going to put my deck right here. So because it's my first turn.
Wait, you got to put your prize cards down.
Oh, good point.
I
forgot. Kalos needs to put his prize cards there. So 6 prize cards.
I mean, it's okay because we haven't drawn anything yet.
Yeah. So you put your prize cards down, and prize cards are just what they sound. You get this. They're prizes. You don't know what they are. They're just prizes. And the goal of the game is to whoever gets all these prize cards into their hand first, claims all these prize cards, and we'll get to that in a second. So we are at 8 minutes now, so we're trying to go too much longer. We're trying to maybe keep it to 12 minutes because there's a lot going on, and you can always rewind, and we'll try to catch ourselves if we get a little ahead if we get too far forward. So we got the prize cards. So the first thing you do, give yourself 7 cards. You look at your cards. If there's a basic, you're good. If you don't have any basics, let's say you just have stage 1s, a bunch of supporter cards, and it's called a mulligan. And what that means is now you got to shuffle your cards again and pull another 7, but your opponent gets 1 card as a prize. But that didn't happen here. Maybe it'll happen in the future. So don't worry about that. It may not happen too much in your first couple of games. So just kind of briefly telling you about that. So now Caleb's deck set up. He's got his prize cards, active, his bench. He has nothing in the discard pile yet. We'll get to that in a minute. And his, what is it called? Your deck. Your deck. So this is how it should be set up when you're going to play the game of Pokemon. Same thing here. Prize cards, my deck. Nothing on my bench, but just in the active spot. It's my turn. Your first thing you should always remember on your first turn is to do what, son?
Draw for turn.
Yes, and it may even say that in here.
Right there.
Draw for turn. Because it doesn't tell you how to set up here. It just tells you what to do once you get set up. So I drew for turn. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, again, I can put
5.
up to 5. You can see 1, 2, 3. Basic Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 here. Maybe you can see that. I'll put them right there. And let's see. I got a Varoom. And what else basic? Oh, I got a couple of different basics. I got a Melton, Orthworm, and a Varoom. And so as we mentioned, well, I won't go into ability right now. Maybe the next lesson I will. Again, this is a basic, so I need to have basics. Caleb has basics. I drew a card, so when it's my turn, I can put 1 energy down.
So attach for turn.
Attach for turn.
To any of your Pokemon.
To anyone, but most likely you want to attach it to your active. right? You can attach it to these guys too, but when you attach it to the active, you just powered this card up, right? So you can see right here.
It costs 1 energy.
It costs 1 energy level.
Or metal.
To 1 metal energy card to activate this damage.
Or attack.
Attack, my bad, thank you. This attack. But you can only attach 1 energy card per turn, at least for a level 1 deck. There may be some, we'll get to more. There's some abilities and other things that sometimes allow you to add more energy, but that's not what's shown right now.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got an energy card. I don't have any, I do have an item card, right?
Potion.
And this is a potion. So it says heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. But there's no damage. We'll get to that in a minute. And I'm going to show you that just in a second. So I'm done.
You can't attach.
I can't attach anymore.
Whoever goes first can't attack.
That is correct. When you go first, I cannot attack. So I can't take advantage of this 20. But when it comes back to my turn, I can.
But there's a different scenario.
So now I say pass. Now it's Caleb's turn. So what's the first thing you're going to do, son?
I always draw for turn.
Draw for turn.
I got a Morky-Peel, so I can put him on my bench.
So he's a basic.
And if you look at my hand, I have 2 items and a supporter. But if you're going second, you can play a supporter.
Correct.
Like Nemona.
So the thing about going second, which some people like, is that 1, you can attack. He doesn't have to not attack like I did. Only the first turn in the game, that person cannot attack. So if you go second turn like Caleb's did, he can attack. He can only still attach 1 card, but he can use his supporter, his trainer cards, both item and or supporter. So go ahead, son, and show the folks what you're going to do right now.
I'm going to play... Oh, you can only play 1 supporter
Correct.
per turn. So I'm going to play Nemona. And if you don't know what Nemona does, which probably would, but it draws 3 cards. So you can go to your deck and you draw the top 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3.
And every time you use a supporter card, unless it tells you otherwise, it automatically goes to your discard pile, right? That's where they go. Just like in anything else in the card games, right? You just put it in the proper place.
And then I have these different items which I can play to get more Pokemon on my bench.
Mm-hmm.
So I would play...
Put it in the camera so they can see it.
I'll play a Nest Ball.
Well, read it for them.
Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck.
So now he can look for any basic... Every card he can look at right now, but it has to be a basic, and it has to go where? Does it go on your hand or on your
bench?
It has to go on your bench. You have to read the instructions. A lot of reading in this game.
I think I will play a Houndour because this Houndour can evolve into something much powerful.
Well, we'll get to that in the next one.
And it's kind of hard to shuffle like the original way, so I just gonna probably do this, which is another way people do it.
Yeah. Well, the next match we play, we'll probably put some sleeves on these cards, and we didn't want to spend the time showing you how to sleeve them up, so we'll definitely put some sleeves. So next time or next episode, all these will have sleeves. We're going to leave everything where they're at so we can continue, because a game can take 30 minutes, and since we're taking our sweet time, it's okay, son, you don't really have to spend too much time.
Well, should I finish my turn?
Well, of course you want to finish your turn, of course.
So I'm going to play Great Ball, which is look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand, then shuffle the other cards back into your deck.
All right, so what's the rules again? What do you have to do?
Look at the top 7 cards.
Okay, so go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
And
then after that, it says, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal that's the keyword, a Pokemon. So if he has...
Oh, Houndour EX. That's my Pokemon.
And this is a good thing about Pokemon, folks. What kind of Pokemon are there, son, that you can get? What types are there?
EXs and basics and stage 1.
Basics and stage 1. So this doesn't say you can only get a basic or a stage 1. This is a Pokemon.
Nest Ball says you can only get a basic Pokemon, like I did with Houndour. But Great Ball, you can get any Pokemon.
So go ahead and we'll go into great detail next one. So what did you get?
I got a Houndour, because these cards aren't any more Pokemons, but I did get 1 Houndour in there.
Yes, so it says... Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do what you need to do. It says to shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So that's what Caleb's doing. Well, again, we're going to sleeve it up so it'll be a little easier to shuffle the deck. And then, so you always got to follow the instructions, folks. Always follow the instructions to a T, and then that's half the battle.
Cut or
And I'm just gonna tap.
Okay, so tap.
So normally you give the opponent an opportunity to cut the deck or tap. So I'm just gonna tap. I'm gonna put that in the discard for my son.
And I'm gonna play another great ball, and you guys already know what that does.
Look at the top 7. And you can take a Pokemon card, whether
I'll take an Umbreon.
Okay. Now, he doesn't have to put it on his bench, right?
Yeah,
so that's the difference between the nest ball.
Because great ball.
You gotta look read the instructions. So I'm not gonna go too much, but I would say if you come away with anything, read the information on the card. You don't have to go crazy, buddy. You don't have to go crazy. I'm just gonna tap. You didn't even. Yeah, that's good for now.
Okay. So
right.
I can. I've done supporter. I don't have any more.
What number 3?
Yeah, I can attach one basic, and I'll attach that basic to Houndour.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like I can do anything else, so...
Yeah, and man, he could attack this energy to this if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I can't use his... Well, if I even did, it does nothing, because it's only attach an energy card from my hand to one of my Pokemon, and I don't have any.
So. Yeah, so he decided to attach the Houndour. And so I went once... And now, because he can't attack, and we'll get the next time we'll get into the round 2 or the part 2. We're gonna start attacking each other, where the damage counters start to come in, and then that's where your HP starts to come in play as well. So, folks, we kind of went a little bit slow. Sorry if we bored you to death. These are some necessary learning tools you need for all people learning to play both Pokemon. Now, please don't get over. I mean, you're going to be overwhelmed, obviously, but don't give up. I promise you, after 3 or 4 times, if you watch these videos a couple of times, and once you start playing yourself, just like any card game, whether it's Uno, Go Fish, you name it, you're going to pick it up relatively quickly. So, any closing words, son?
Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe click the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
All right, we'll talk to you later.